Smart Unified Workspace from IBM and Cisco is a radically new solution that unchains your business from the constraints of inflexible office infrastructure, liberates your workforce to work the way that they want to, and this can be very valuable to employers and employees. You see, our typical workplace has changed in a rather big way since the dawn of time. We have almost come full circle in many ways. At first, we were all hunter-gatherers, endlessly roaming the wilds in search of whatever kind of tasty, bite-sized morsels we could find. But then one day, some bright spark concluded that clocking up so many jungle miles prior to breakfast in the hope of finding something for the pot can be a bit of a tall order. And so he hatched a cunning plan. He started a farm. Now he could have a decent breakfast and no longer had to walk for endless miles hoping to find it first. But soon, the divine spark of inspiration struck once more. The new grand plan was that if we moved our houses closer together and lived in towns, we could specialize in what we do. Because let's face it, not everybody likes farming. But then one day, after a few strong cups of tea, one wannabe snooty Victorian figured out that if you build large mechanized factories, you could manufacture all sorts of clever products, much better than going at it alone in the garden shed, which made him rich. Clearly, the plan worked. And so the idea was born that to work together well, people need to be in the same building. And that idea stuck to this very day. The only problem is that the work we do actually continued to evolve. You see, the work we do today seems to have quite a bit in common with how things were right back in the beginning. Today we seem to be roaming around again in a concrete jungle, hunting for opportunity with a new set of tools, striking up partnerships and alliances as we go along. While other times we may just decide to stay put at home, not needing to go anywhere. And yet, in spite of how the world has changed, the typical workplace has sadly not evolved to suit the way that we, the clever clogs of urbanity, work today. Yes, the office is a lot brighter, but it really has become an obstacle, because just about everything that the worker needs has been hardwired into the building infrastructure. Video conferencing facilities, telepresence, network points, office desktops, office phones. And so it is that even though much of the business is happening out in the big wide world, the office worker just cannot seem to get anything done outside of the office. The moment that office workers try to step outside of the door and try to get something done, they soon find themselves being tugged back by the invisible force that is inflexible workplace infrastructure. It goes without saying there clearly is a problem when the modern workforce is expected to work on the trot and workplace infrastructure is being provided as if time itself came to a screeching halt in the Victorian era. IBM and Cisco recognized this problem and decided to do something about it. What if one could change the very nature of the workplace to become less of a physical workplace and become more of a virtual workspace? What if one could provide all of the video, the voice, and the communications to the business as a single private cloud solution, regardless of the physical buildings and infrastructure installed inside office campus buildings? What if an employee can use any device, such as a tablet computer, to access all of the typical business services from anywhere where there is a network connection, with one phone number that follows them, regardless of whether they are in the office or out on the road? What if they could join a telepresence session from where they are? Would this not help to make the workplace smarter by unifying all those standalone technologies into one solution? Well, we just couldn't resist. It sounded like fun, and it had to be done. The office space that is required can now potentially become smaller because employees are less dependent upon it, providing the business with the option to rent less space or use leaseback schemes to reduce their physical footprint. And the available space that is left over can be used much more efficiently. This not only has the potential to save significant real estate costs, but also the costs associated with using office buildings, such as electricity, cooling, security, and facilities management. This not only has the potential to help the business, but also the employee and their interaction with partners and clients. They can work from home more effectively, which saves them commuting costs and those mindless hours in the inevitable traffic jams. We designed the solution from the ground up to be ideal for international organizations and accommodate their need to use high-definition video, which can provide a no-brainer alternative to international travel. So there you have it. IBM and Cisco have joined forces to transform the workplace into a workspace, to unify all the various modes of communication into one solution, and to make the whole thing a lot smarter.